that is total fabrication. I mean, those of you who know me well, you know, in my religion, the most sinful thing, or one of the most sinful things, is not to be filial pious. If you don't look after your parents well, after death you go straight down to hell. No Buddha can help you. No God can help you. So, and brought up in a very Confucianist family, filial piety is the foundation of my whole life principles. So how could Khaw One be recommending Singaporeans to dump their parents, whether in nursing home in Singapore or nursing home elsewhere? So you know that obviously that is just fabrication. I was merely making a comment because I happened to visit a nursing home in Johor Bahru, and the cost there, to be expected, was very low, very much cheaper than Singapore. And that's to be expected because the nurses there are not paid the same as the nurses here. Rental there is cheaper. So that was the observation I made. It then became twisted into Khaw One asking Singaporeans to dump their parents in Johor Bahru. I suppose they saw advantage in putting words in my mouth or twisting my words. In my same religious belief, if you lie, that is also one of the tragic sins. The outcome is also down to hell. So don't do that. I wish them well. No, I think anybody is free to join any party. You know? We have our share of doctors too in PAP. I think they are all Singaporeans. I respect that their wishes, you know, to want to enter politics, and you do need that because if people are not coming forward to serve, I think democracy will be poorer, society will be poorer. So the key point is your motivation, is your motive sincere? Are you capable? I think capable people, there are many. Key point is, are you sincere? Or are you selfish? Or are you doing it for ego reason, you know? Or you hope to enrich yourself? That I think will be very sad for Singapore. So I think so long as we have good, honest, competent, sincere people, good people can differ in opinion. For example, how to treat heart patients. Should we have one center, 2 national centers, or should we have 3, or should we have 5? Or we can argue about those things. We can look at assumptions. Or should we invest more in heart and less in cancer? Or should we invest more in... He's a psychiatrist, is it? Should we invest more in mental health or versus cancer treatment? Should we invest it for the old or for the young? Because at the end of the day, resources are limited. So you really need to make trade-offs. And you have to make that kind of very difficult decisions. And you have to make judgments. And it's not just for the present, you have to worry about the future. I mean, we talk about long time frame in training a doctor, 10 years to get a specialist. And if you make a misjudgment, you regret it only 10 years later. And once you try to catch up, not as good. So those are practicalities of governance and policy making. So long as your interest is for Singapore, for Singaporeans, in an honest, sincere way, I respect you, wherever party you may be from. Then I think the campaign period is for different parties to make clear what are their messages for the voters. And then we have a cooling off day to think about, weigh your you know, the two parties. No different than buying a handphone, you know. Do you want iPhone or do you want something else? Or now it's iPad? Or do you want a copycat? So copycat may be cheaper, but sometimes copycat can disappoint. And if it is a major policy decision and you make very poor judgments, and if outcome is irreversible, it's tough. I don't know other than reading from your media. So I don't think I should comment because I don't think one should judge just because you are young. Young and old doesn't mean anything. You may be old, but you may be less capable than somebody who is young. So it doesn't mean that young and old you should discriminate. I think that would be wrong. Key point is, are you serious? Are you sincere? And young, of course, we have less experience than older candidates, everything being equal. But if you are, sincere, you are hardworking, you have advantages too. You're more dynamic, you can try. And more importantly, you know your generation much better. Although I'm, for example, very active in new media, as you know, I think I have a hang of Facebook now after 2 years, in this whole thing, I mean, I make that discovery about a few weeks ago. But that take 2 years, of fitting in, getting status and how people respond and so on, new messages. And I suddenly, there was a eureka moment, about 3 weeks ago, that I told my wife, I got a hang of Facebook now. Actually, it's quite fun. And now I think I'm able to do it in a way which doesn't take up too much of my time. Yeah. But is it good in a sense that this multitasking, does it affect productivity? I think I'll be dishonest if I say that no, it does not affect productivity. I think it does. But you acquire a certain habit, which is a little bit like those traders, They have multiple screens, so they are watching, gold prices, suddenly commodity, and so then suddenly somebody pop up, then take a look, and so on. Surely that must distract you. So, but it's interesting. The reason I went into it 2.5 years ago was because I wanted to see, how do the young people, what kind of life they live, and why are they excited by all those things? And I can beginning to see now, that there are a lot of positives, but I can also see a lot of negatives. So like all things, how do you manage it so that you maximize the positives and reduce the downside? So for example, I don't play Facebook games.